Hello and welcome to the second ever edition of Coast TV. I'm Mike Hall, I'm a Senior Online Marketing Executive here at Coast Digital, and today we just wanted to have a bit of a look at Facebook's latest feature, Graph Search, and how we can optimise for it, how we can prepare our business pages for it. So the first thing to do is just have a little bit of a look at what Graph Search is. Essentially it's a social search engine. It was announced by Facebook back in January this year, and throughout the last sort of 7 or 8 months they've been gradually rolling it out, tweaking it, playing around with it, testing it. They've had a beta version available. I believe it is now available to all US language accounts, and the plan is to have it available to all English language accounts by the end of the year. So it's something that if you haven't seen already, likelihood is you'll see it in the next few months. So what it is, it's a social search engine. It allows you to search for people, places, photos and interests, and that's all based on, the way it's ranked is based on your connections that you have on your personal Facebook profile, the number of likes and check-ins, the amount of engagement that particular page has had, and then location as well. So for example, you can type in things like friends of mine who work at Coast Digital, or you could search for restaurants nearby, restaurants in Brighton, music that my friends like, all this sort of stuff. And the idea is that, if you search for something, then really the best indicator of relevancy is, what your social connections are like and what they're talking about. So that's really the idea behind Graph Search. As I say, it's not fully available yet, and it remains to be seen whether Graph Search will take some of Google's search engine market share, but it's certainly something that is worth being prepared for, and really with not a great deal of effort, really. So some of the things you can do, the first thing is claim your local listing. You may already have an official sort of local listing on Facebook that people can check into, that they can like. What you may not be aware of is that if you do not have one of those pages, and even if you do actually, it is possible for people to, on their phone, try and check in, see that it's not there, and they create a page for you. Now what's not great about this is the address might not be entirely accurate, you can't get your brand logo on there, whatever it might be. Really what you want to do is search, find any listings, claim the listing that you want to take, update the address, make sure everything's accurate. That'll mean that when Graph Search rolls out, you can ensure that you have full control over that listing. The second thing is look at your page name, category and subcategories, and vanity URL as well. So page name, obviously making sure that you've got your brand in there, possibly any keywords that might be relevant to that. Category, make sure that your places page is listed in the most appropriate category. I believe you can choose subcategories as well, so make sure that's as comprehensively filled in as possible, and of course ensure you have a vanity URL, because that will help in terms of being found in Graph Search. The next thing is the About section. Now just as with SEO, we look at on-site optimization, making sure you have relevant keywords in the body of text, all that sort of stuff. The About section is somewhere where you can really go to town on, add a comprehensive business description, think about the sorts of keywords that you want to be ranked for, and that you want to turn up in Graph Search for. Make sure that those are included in that About Us section. Next is engagement. Now this is likes and check-ins, that sort of stuff. Really, it's old-fashioned social media marketing, really. It's all about getting as much as possible in terms of engagement, people commenting, people liking your photos, people liking your statuses, sharing it, that sort of stuff. All that stuff based on this algorithm that Facebook used to rank stuff in your newsfeed, that's going to be appropriate when it comes to, or applicable, sorry, when it comes to Graph Search as well. So things like encouraging people to check in at your business, encouraging people to like, to share, to tag photos that you post, that sort of thing. If you're a bar or a nightclub and you take a picture of the crowd, share that, get people to tag themselves in it, it will get a lot more reach than if you just sort of post it and wait for something to happen. The final thing that's worth considering is Bing. Now what Facebook Graph Search does is if it hasn't got an appropriate social set of results to bring you back, then what it will do is it will bring in some Bing listings, because Facebook and Microsoft have a little bit of a thing going. So what it might be worth doing, as I say, remains to be seen whether Graph Search will be used to the extent that Google is. You'll probably find at the moment that 90+% of your search traffic comes from Google. This could swing it a little bit perhaps, so it's worth just bearing in mind some of the factors that help you to rank in Bing. So that's again, if you look at all these things and get all these things right, then at least for the moment that'll get you covered, it'll get you nicely prepared for Graph Search. So that's it for this second edition of Coast TV. Thanks very much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please do feel free to ask them in the comments section below. Other than that, We'll see you next time.